All right, Jake here, Fat Fabs. I'm here standing with Randy Branham. He's the head sheet metal guy here at the shop, and we're going to be discussing this 1966 Lincoln Continental. I acquired this car probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Roughly, yeah.
Let it sit for a little while. Technically, it wouldn't be a personal build. It's a, well, we discussed it as like a shop build.
Shop build.
That will be for sale.
Yep.
Fortunately enough, it's already sold, so we're pretty stoked about that. You've met Frank in some of the videos. When we first hired him, we hired him as a sheet metal guy before we knew his true talents of being able to be a really good welder on the table. And he did what we call round one or phase one of this car, of doing a lot of the sheet metal work, a lot of the rust repair on the outside of the car. He went through and he welded in all the bumpers, he shaved all the trim. He built kind of like a roll pan in the rear of the car. That was phase one. We shipped it to SRD in Fort Smith, and they did a lot of the body work and got it in a single prime. Phase two, car comes back to the shop, and then we unleashed Peepaw on the front suspension. And basically he just cut everything out and started fresh, and kind of used one of our C10 front chassis and grafted in here to where we don't have any of the Lincoln woes of having a front sump oil pan or anything like that. So we use a tried and true front suspension onto the car, and
with Willwood spindles.
Being able to use those Willwood spindles with a sealed bearing hub, be able to run a flat cap on the car if we wanted to. That's a huge advantage. So now, bring it up to almost present day, we bring in Randy, and you've just gone to town so far with
balls to wall.
Floors and what you started with the tubs in the rear, right?
Yeah, started with the wheel tubs, got the wheel suspension. Well, it sucks up like it's supposed to. Got all the clearance that I needed for it, so it lays all the way out.
And not only that, you had to deal with the door hinges of the suicide rear door, which was a huge pain to get
pain in the butt. It took a lot of work to get that done. In fact, I built one tub in 2 pieces in order to get it to go in there. I was able to adjust the other side a little bit better, but it was a huge challenge.
Yeah. Oh, and Frank built rockers on this car too. So.
Yeah, he did. He stretched the rockers down on it as well, and welded the fenders to it, so it's more unibody basically.
Yeah. Add a little bit of structure, but overall just the look of the car to make it look like it lays really hard.
Yeah.
From there, I guess you did trunk work. We cut the trunk out.
The whole bottom of the trunk. We cut all that out in order to fit the fuel cell underneath the car.
And then we get to my favorite part. I've had this idea of something similar of an engine bay for quite some time, and finally to be able to bring it to life and have Randy take an idea that's in this stupid head of mine and then make it into what you see here is, man, I'm excited to come to work every day to see how far he's going to get by the end of the day. Like I mess with you all day, don't I? Just walking by going, seeing how far he's gotten done.
Yeah.
Every day I bother him, it's probably 10, 12 times a day just to see. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So it's pretty cool to see. He cut out every bit of structure, moved that firewall forward 3 inches or so.
Yeah, we moved the firewall to 3 inches in order to take up a lot of room behind the motor, because I guess when you put the motor and stuff in, you have a huge gap. You see pretty much the whole top of the bell housing.
You can see a lot of the bell housing, so try to get away from that and make it look more like it's supposed to. And it gives us a lot more room up underneath the dash for leg room or heat and AC or whatever, the computer for the Coyote that's going to go in it. Yeah. And I think that's the only thing that we lack right now with Peepaw is the motor mounts for the Coyote. So we'll get those in here pretty soon. Continuing the sheet metal all the way around this radiator. We did get the radiator in. So that's kept Randy really busy up front as far as being able to build the sheet metal to it.
Yep.
Other than that,
capping all that in and making it all just look. When we pop the hood, we want it to be seamless, basically.
Oh yeah.
We want it to look like, just like a bathtub almost. The dish sides, curved, rounded edges. Yep.
I think of it as like a high-end street rod is my goal of what this to look like, especially because the hood is going to open up backwards. It does that from the factory. The trunk opens up suicide per se anyway, so having this sheet metal done this way and then having that Coyote power plant is going to be a really, really nice car when it's done. As far as the power plant, we did mention that this does have a Coyote motor that's going into it. We hear a lot of bad things about Ford automatic transmissions and making them work behind the Coyotes in retrofitting applications like this. So we opted to use an adapter plate that puts a 4L80 behind this, because there's a possibility that this thing may end up with a Whipple on top of it, and we wanted enough transmission to hold up to that amount of power.
Right.
If that were to be the case. It all really depends on how much room we got underneath that hood.
Yeah,
if the
for
Whipple's
sure.
gonna fit. So,
It's gonna be tight, but
it's gonna be. There's nothing on this car that's probably not tight.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I know there's gonna be some Ford haters out there that hate that we put a Chevrolet transmission, but be happy there's a damn Coyote going in.
That's right. That's right. I mean,
Leave us alone. And I'm damn sure not putting a 6-speed with a clutch in a Lincoln Continental. That's not a race car.
This is a cruiser, man. Like you just want to hop in it and enjoy.
Moving forward from here, you still need to sheet metal the underside of the hood.
Yeah, I'm gonna skin the bottom of the hood, get it all looking right.
You can't forget about that. Hoods
Yeah,
up,
we want to see it. So it's got to look just as good as engine bay does. You know, it's all one piece. So.
And then you've already got the floors in the car. They're already bead rolled.
Yep.
And then you're gonna go to
the trans tunnel and drive shaft tunnel after I get the engine bay kind of squared up.
And the Peepaw has run the transmission cross member with exhaust holes in it. So the exhaust will be able to come down near that new firewall and come underneath the transmission and go underneath the car, underneath the drive shaft. There's enough room in this car to not, it's potentially, it's a unibody, but it's almost got a perimeter frame with a real low floorboard. So running that drive shaft tunnel a little bit bigger to be able to run that dual exhaust, we'll probably throw an X pipe into it.
Yeah,
It'll be in a 5.0. You're gonna want an X pipe into it, and then eventually put exhaust cutouts into the bumper / roll pan that Frank has built. So we'll end up going from the front to the rear with that exhaust all the way and dump out the back. So we'll have that nice Cody sound out the back. There's a lot of work in this front end that no one's probably ever going to notice, but it's going to be there. The top of the grill all the way across and the bottom. It looks like a normal lip, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's actually a piece of 10 gauges welded in. It's going to mimic what the grill is going to be.
It's basically the exact same shape as the grill. So when it's stacked in there, everything's going to line up uniform, the right spacing. Everything's going to look
good gaps.
Proper.
I like proper.
Yeah.
For the color of this Lincoln, I've always envisioned a black car, like a murdered out car with no chrome, like every nut and bolt in this thing should be black. I don't want to see any type of polished or chrome or anodizing, anything like that. That's just been my vision in this stupid head of mine that I mentioned. So having a shiny black car with like a satin. Not a matte.
Not a matte. We'll call it satin.
We'll call it a satin, like a non-glossy engine bay, and anything that bolts to the car is going to be that satin color.
As well.
So like the windshield trim.
Yeah.
What else?
Door handles.
The door handles. The grill.
The grills, both front and rear.
Yeah, we'll end up building a grill. I don't think we got to that earlier, but we'll build like a Phantom grill in the back too. So basically, it's going to match the wheels. The wheels are that two-tone gloss and satin black. Oh, there's one right there.
Oh, yeah.
So basically kind of like that is what
that.
we're trying to emulate on this car. Is anybody going to get that? Well, that's about going to wrap up what we've got going on with this Lincoln up to date now. Randy will keep plugging away on it. Maybe give him a break here pretty soon. Maybe put him on the Chevelle, because he probably hates life right about now about how many hours he's put into this car.
So many hours.
So probably deserves a break and maybe monkey around with something else for the time being.
You can change it up a little bit. It'll be fine.
Just trying to get it too monotone of getting your ass kicked by the same car every day. Let another car kick your ass for a change. But
that's what I got to look forward to.
Yeah. Check us out at fatfabs.com and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube. Because that's where we post this stuff, and a lot of times we don't tell you on Instagram or Facebook. You just kind of go find it. So,
yep. Hopefully you guys are following.
Check us out, or don't. Fuck off. I don't care. I was thinking about him with my dick in my hand earlier.
See? Yeah, but he was like...
Don't shy away from this. There's your blooper that goes at the end of the video.